The night sky over Tehran erupts in fire. It begins with a blinding flash, then a deafening roar. A series of explosions rocks the city, smoke and debris fill the air, obscuring the stars. Iranian early warning systems, honed for decades against the threat of American aggression, blare their warnings, but it's too late. The surprise attack has begun. The target, Iran's most sensitive nuclear facility, buried deep underground. The world holds its breath. This is not another limited strike, another surgical operation. This is an act of war. The opening salvo in a conflict that could reshape the map of the Middle East and draw the entire world into its vortex. Fingers point at Israel, at the United States, but no one claims responsibility. The initial shock quickly gives way to a grim realization. This is how World War III begins. Not with a declaration, but with a bang. A single, devastating act of violence that ignites a powder keg long primed for explosion. Iran, however, is not caught completely off guard. They've prepared for this moment, bolstering their defenses with a strategy designed to counter a superior foe. This is not a war they believe they can win outright, not against a superpower like the United States. Their goal is deterrence, to inflict enough pain to make any attack prohibitively costly. Their weapons are not those of a traditional military power. They are the tools of an underdog, designed to exploit weaknesses and create chaos. Ballistic missiles, thousands strong and many hidden in underground bunkers, are unleashed on American bases across the region. Swarms of cheap, deadly drones, a constant menace in the skies, target military installations and infrastructure. The Strait of Hormuz, the world's most vital oil choke point, becomes a gauntlet of mines and fast attack boats, threatening global energy supplies. Cyber attacks cripple communication networks and sow confusion. And across the region, Iran's network of allies, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Shia militias in Iraq and Syria, are activated, opening up new fronts in a rapidly expanding conflict. The United States, caught off guard by the initial attack but not unprepared, unleashes its own awesome military might. A sleeping giant has been awakened, and its roar is deafening. Aircraft carriers, those floating fortresses of American power, steam towards the Persian Gulf, their decks bristling with fighter jets and bombers. Stealth bombers, unseen and unheard, strike deep inside Iran, targeting military command centers, air defenses, and key infrastructure. The skies over Iran become a deadly ballet of American air power, raining down precision munitions with devastating accuracy. On the ground, special forces teams infiltrate Iranian territory, hunting for mobile missile launchers and disrupting enemy operations. The United States possesses the most technologically advanced military in the world, and they bring it all to bear. Drones, satellites, and cyber warfare capabilities provide an unparalleled view of the battlefield, allowing them to strike with pinpoint accuracy. The full force of the American military-industrial complex is unleashed, a tidal wave of steel and technology aimed at crushing Iranian resistance. But this is not a conflict confined to the Middle East. Like ripples from a stone cast into a pond, the war spreads outward, drawing in other nations and engulfing the globe in a maelstrom of violence and uncertainty. Israel, facing relentless rocket attacks from Hezbollah, is dragged into the conflict, their own air force launching retaliatory strikes against targets in Lebanon and Syria. Oil prices skyrocket as the Strait of Hormuz becomes increasingly dangerous, sending shockwaves through the global economy. Fear and uncertainty grip the world's stock markets as investors flee to safety. Russia and China, watching closely, provide diplomatic and material support to Iran, wary of further American expansion in the region. The United Nations Security Council, paralyzed by division, proves unable to broker a ceasefire or find a peaceful resolution. The world teeters on the brink, the threat of a wider, more catastrophic conflict looming large. As the fighting rages on, the human cost of the conflict becomes horrifyingly clear. Civilian casualties mount on both sides, innocent men, women, and children caught in the crossfire. Cities lie in ruins, shattered by relentless bombardment. Millions are displaced from their homes, fleeing the violence and seeking refuge in a world increasingly hostile and unwelcoming. The specter of nuclear escalation hangs over the conflict like a dark cloud. Desperate to avoid defeat, might Iran be tempted to unleash its ultimate weapon? The consequences of such an act are too terrible to contemplate. The potential for global annihilation, a chilling reminder of the stakes involved. This is a war that no one can win, a conflict that will leave only destruction and despair in its wake. The world watches in horror as the situation spirals further out of control, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the devastating consequences of unchecked aggression. The question now is not whether one side will prevail but whether humanity can survive the conflict it has unleashed. The future, it seems, has never been so uncertain.